What's going on, guys? It's Ricky with TechBot Solutions. Thank you guys again for joining us for another helpful video. Like we do for the past couple of months, I'm going to be talking about the top 7 stocks for this month. And this is the month of October 2017. So I hope this video is relevant to you, and I hope it can kind of guide you in the right direction. The stocks that I'm going to be talking about are not the only stocks that are any suggestions for you guys. I just want you guys to focus on how I break down stocks, how I see value in them, how I manage my risk, and the importance of that. I hope it can guide you in the right direction, that it could lead you to find opportunity yourself. And like we know with TechBot Solutions, we have 3 rules, and I hope it can make sure you guys understand that before getting into this entire video. And that would be only invest in stocks that you understand. Don't invest based on other people's opinion. And then the last one that I really want you guys to understand is always have a plan when investing. So the importance of risk management, knowing where you're buying, knowing where you're selling, and knowing where you're going to be cutting your losses. I actually have it all set up on a PDF, so you guys could see the top 7 stocks that I'm going to be focusing on for this month of October. These are not the only stocks that I'm going to be focusing on. I just thought it'd be really nice to have them in a structured kind of simple format, so you guys can understand kind of my whole plan and breakdown. And then I'm going to go into detail about actually breaking them down, how I came across them, why I identified potential, why I see potential, and what my plans are for each and every single one of them. This is, again, just me sharing my whole thought process. In no way is this encouraging you to actually invest in any of these stocks. Before starting, if you guys are not a part of TechBot Solutions already, we do have a little bit over 47,000 members within our group. It is a free Facebook group. Feel free to click the link where it says Facebook group or free group. Feel free to join if you guys see value in that. If you guys don't, then 100% don't have to. But let's go ahead and get started. So if you guys have any questions as I see them coming in right now, feel free to actually if you guys have any questions, feel free to actually ask them at the very end of the video. I'm going to be going into detail, so I don't want this video to actually be too long. So hopefully you guys understand. Some guy says I remind him of the Spider-Man Homecoming. That's hilarious. My roommate's laughing. Alrighty, so this is my YouTube channel. Don't know why I pulled that up, but let's kind of go into detail. So the top 7 stocks for October. The first one, and again, this is the format that I would suggest for everyone to be sharing their ticker symbols at. It's just to you just have to think about, especially with the thousands of members we have within our group of TechBot Solutions. Just imagine, it's been presented before, a bunch of people just calling out stocks just simply with the ticker symbol. It gives us no input on why they see potential in it. So being able to use this format of the ticker symbol, and it says, the MCRB, support resistance 12 and 14. I'll get into detail about that. Desired entry point 12.20, desired sell point $14. Why does this have potential? And I just broke it down to a technical support. This makes sense to me. This is something that I understand. And going back, even if I go back to it, 3 days or 4 days or even 2 weeks down the road, I can simply look at this and I can remind myself why I see value in it for every single stock, right? Therefore, if you guys want to be able to have access to this format, you simply make your way over to the TechBot Solutions Discord group, and you go to the rules. So you go to rules, and it's number 7. You can copy and paste this ticker symbol format, and then every time that you post a stock, feel free to share it with the group. We also have it on the Facebook group. So once you guys get accepted, then you guys just go to the top pinned post, click see more, and they're actually right here. We want to really encourage you guys to be posting in that format because we find it the most effective. It's not just about calling random ticker symbols and hoping that this isn't stock twits. This isn't where we try to overhype stocks. We want to make sure that you have an understanding of what you're investing in. So altogether, with the combined potential for profit that these stocks offer from the top 7, they offer 201.04% potential for profit. Does that mean 100% that they're going to play out the way that we expect them to? No, and that's why we have these plans of desired entry point and sell point, and also where we're going to be cutting our losses. So let's kind of just go down the list and check out MCRB. So MCRB, I actually have it right here. How did I come across this one? If I'm not mistaken, I don't even have it in my watch list. So I'm actually going to have to add it to my watch list. The way I actually came about this one, I just did it a couple minutes ago, was I had a scan. I set up a scan, and this was my scan. This is the criteria that I have set up. This does not mean that this is how you have to have yours set up. You guys can feel free to screenshot it if you guys can see it. If you guys can't see it clearly and want me to screenshot it, then after this video posts, just feel free to comment that you guys want me to share the screenshot of the filter criteria or the scan criteria that I have set up. But as you guys can see, it's MCRB. So I simply went down the list. I broke down each and every stock, and I pick the ones that I saw value in, and it's as simple as that. So the reason that I focus on stocks that are oversold is because since they drop so much, as long as the trend is there, if they drop so much, so this is a 1-year analysis, I'm going to go to 180-day analysis. Again, this is more for a swing trade. The reason that I see so much potential in this one is it was seeing so much upward momentum. Not too sure what happens. I'm going to have to look into it a little bit more. But all just on the technical side, it looks like it was oversold. RSI indicators indicating that it's way oversold, and it's holding at $12. Why is it holding at $12? Well, understanding that $12 was a previous resistance, meaning a point where it previously, struggled to peak above. Just like we predicted with ROKU, if you guys didn't watch that breakdown, old resistance levels become new support levels. Just like that, why does it hold exactly at $12? Well, it's with that simple psychological support. There's no exact reason on why it holds there, but psychologically, investors think that MCRB can be valued at more than $12 per share. With that understanding, that's great. As long as it validates that support and it doesn't continue to drop below $12, then that's a good understanding that this is the overall support, and we should start trending back up. Does that mean 100% that it's going to? No, and that's why it's so important to set up a plan. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up my alerts. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create an alert if it goes below. I actually thought I did this already. If it goes below $12, I also want to set an alert if it goes above $12.50, and I'm going to tell you guys why. Boom, there we go. And because these stocks drop so much, so because it drops so much so quickly, if we can get a pretty solid bounce, then we can make up. This is why I love chasing red stocks, because of it being dropped so much. I didn't hold it, so I didn't lose, all this money. But because it dropped so much, it's most likely going to try to make its way back up to this, $16 price point. Understanding that, once I identify that it's actually validating that support and it's seen an upward trend, I plan to buy anywhere around from $12.50. From $12.50 to $16, the potential for profit is about 27.85%. So going over to my breakdown, again, MCRB. I actually have it at 16%. I was a little conservative, and I actually planned, if I'm not mistaken, let me put it at $12.50. And then we go here. I believe it was right here. Yeah, $15 was the desired sell point. Just the reason that why I called out $15 instead of the overall price point here at 17 is because 15, based on the previous resistance from here and here, that looks like a critical point where I'd be more than happy to lock in profits at that price point. But because it drops so much, it has that much more potential that if it bounces, it can see such a quick a quicker increase than usual to its actual price point. The reason that it dropped, again, I don't know 100%, but it most likely is oversold, and it most likely will try to bounce again. Does that mean 100% that it's going to? No, and that's why it's so important to manage your risks. So my support, $12, as you can see there. Resistance, $14. That's because that was initially where during pre-market hours where it struggled to go below. And then my desired entry point, $12.20 to $12.50. That's going to be my desired entry point. So with that understanding, my desired sell point is going to be $14. And why does it have potential? I'm just calling it out based on a technical support. So again, old resistance level becomes new support level. So with that understanding, I have an understanding that, okay, if it bounces and starts to show signs of an upward trend, I plan to buy anywhere around from, like $12.20 to $12.50. I'll cut my losses. If it holds above $12 on this initial bounce, I'll cut my losses if it goes below $12. Therefore, my potential for loss is 3.42%, with my potential for profit, if it even hits $14, is 11.41% to highs of $15, which is about 20%. Therefore, again, it has a lot more potential for profit than potential for loss. Therefore, this stock is worth investing for me. It doesn't mean that it has to be worth it for you. So with that simple understanding, just wanted to pretty much break it down for you on why I saw potential in it. So, and Margie Max is asking, why would you put a stop loss at 1180? I have a max loss. I really don't like to risk anything more than 3%. That's just my max number. I usually take anywhere from $3,500 to $4,000 position sizes, and it comes down to not wanting to lose any more than that. With that understanding, you can have your max stop loss. Just make sure that there's a reason why it's at 1180. If it's either your max stop loss or it's a technical support, then make sure to identify that. But I just don't want to. It's held above $12 before. That's a support. it should hold above $12. And if it doesn't, even if it pulls back below $12, if it comes back up and breaks above it, then that's a sign of an upward trend. As long as it continues going above $12, I want to buy anything above 12. I'm going to give it that margin that even if it breaks below it, once it comes back up and breaks above the resistance at $12, again, old supports become new resistance levels. And if it starts showing signs of an upward trend, then I'll choose to invest in it. But I will cut my losses if it goes below $12, as I understand that's a technical support. So let me go ahead and move on to the next one. The next one is going to be TTS. And again, I found this one due to my scan. So TTS. And again, this does not mean that this is something that you have to trade. This is something that, this is a trend that I am seeing. So if you guys can see, usually trades from around $20, has a drop down, broke below 16. So it's continuously seen a downward trend. With that understanding, this isn't a very long-term swing trade. As you can see, this is obviously a swing trade, as it would take quite a while for it to make up this margin. But when it had this huge initial bounce, had that bounce at around $14, resistance at 16, as we can see there. So again, the same thing's going on here. Right after market hours today, if I'm not mistaken, it took that dip from its normal pricing of $13 down to $9.80. Therefore, as of Monday, you can see the RSI indicators indicating that it's way oversold. Therefore, this is opportunity for those that see value in it. So previous support, just like we called out at around $12 to $13. Right now, it's sitting at around $10. So if it continues to see that upward trend, then great. From here to here, it offers anywhere about 20% potential for profit. And if I get in at 10, 10, 10, 20, then I can cut my losses if it goes below $10 or even $10.90, depending on how much I want to risk. Again, my potential for profit is much greater than my potential for loss. And that's, again, I simply came across this specific stock due to the scan that I ran. I ran 2 different scans, but TTS is still in this one. So it was up on the day, but unfortunately during aftermarket close, ended up seeing that red type of trade. So let me go ahead and move on to the next one. The next one is LPI. So LPI was also one that I came across due to my scan. So if I go to my scan, it should be popping up. Looks like my scan went away. But yeah, this is how I came across it. This one, it doesn't really show signs of a downward trend. It was showing signs of a downward trend, really bounced at that $10 price point. And started peaking up, has an overall resistance at $13, and then saw a pullback. Based on previous supports, it usually tries to bounce anywhere around $12. It doesn't always bounce at exactly 12. So all I'm saying on this one is wait for it to start showing signs of an upward trend. The thing that I like about this one is this margin that it has from $12 to $13, therefore offering about 7.63 potential for profit. So if we can get it when it's seen an upward trend, just based on previous trends, when it breaks above 12, when it breaks above 12, when it breaks above 12, and it crosses above VMA, then it offers that potential for profit. It doesn't offer huge potential for profit, as in not 20, 30, or 40%, but 7% is huge, especially if you can lock it in, stick to your plan, and manage your risk. With that understanding, it isn't showing true signs of an upward trend at this exact price point. So let me go ahead and do a 20-day breakdown. So today it had somewhat of a bounce here above $12. I would actually like to try to see it. I mean, even last time, it was maybe less than 10 days ago, had that drop from $13, bounce at $12, and started seeing that upward trend to above 13. Doesn't hold very well above 13, and then it has that pullback. So it would have been nice to actually have ran the scan yesterday, and that was my fault. I didn't. But it's still showing somewhat potential. It's still holding above $12. So I would like to get in anywhere around $12. Manage my risk at no more than 3% potential for loss, because the potential for profit isn't that huge on this one. Understanding that, about 8%. So that's why I broke it down with my LPI. I put about 7% potential for profit, 12 to 13 support resistance, desired entry point, 12.40, desired sell point, $13. Why it has potential, previous support. So now the next one are ones that I've talked about before. You guys played out very well today. Again, I'm just going to do a breakdown, and I hope that you guys see value in it. If you guys don't, it's 100% okay. I hope you guys learned something with my breakdown. So overall lows is 10.13. The reason that I called this one out is I thought it had an overall support at $11. I chose to not hold this stock over the weekend, just like I told you guys on my live stream on Friday. With that understanding, it ended up opening way in the red. I bought in a little bit too early, but I still bought in at a price point that I thought it had good value in. I stuck to my plan, and I had my stop loss set at $9.99, and I still have my stop loss there. Therefore, I am managing my risk, and my position size is much smaller than what I usually take. As it continues to increase and break these resistance, then I plan to add about $2,000 for every 50 cents it increases in price to try to sell anywhere above $12. And that's pretty much my plan. What I do first is I identify a margin for profit. And I can take a step back. So let's do this 180-day analysis. I think it's very easy to see the low points and the high points of this. If anything, there's a good amount of people that were able to catch it at a very low point. And with that simple understanding, I got a couple alerts that people were able to, I called it out that, hey, look, based on its previous support, it bounced at 10.13. I ended up bouncing and hitting lows of 10.19, if I'm not mistaken, or 10.16 or 10.14. With that understanding, it did very well acting like it previously did. With that understanding, it started to show signs of an upward trend. That's great. People were able to make pretty decent profit on their swing trade. But I plan to hold this one a little bit longer. If you don't see value in it, then that's totally fine. But I see this, the $10 to $10.50 area to be an extremely good buy point to later sell anywhere from $12 to $12.50. The potential for profit there from my entry point of $10.50 to my desired sell point, anything above $12.50, is about 18.9% profit. I plan to be anywhere around $5,000 to $6,000 on my position for you guys once it starts hitting $12.50. With that understanding, 20% potential, that's huge, right? We're talking about 10% to $1,200 profit with a $5,000 to $6,000 position, and that's pretty much what I plan to take part of. And I hope you guys see value in it. If you guys don't, then simply don't trade it. Now on you guys again, 10.13 desired sell point, 10.50 to 12 or plus 12. Why it has potential, previous support. Now let's talk about JD. We're almost done, guys, so thank you guys again for staying along. This is a very simple breakdown. I don't think this is very hard for you guys to see. Again, identifying margins of profit. Where does it usually bounce at? Where does it usually peak out at? Previous support, previous resistance. 1, 2, 3. It held pretty well there. So again, old support becomes new resistance level, and it didn't hold very well above 44. Overall resistance at 46, but it touches 44 many more times. Therefore, I've identified this low point, I've identified this high point, and I did take a position on JD. I actually took a position at exactly, 39.10. I took a position a little bit too, I want to say late, and I took it close to market open. Ended up hitting highs of 39.94, and I actually had a good amount of people direct message me that, hey, I'm taking a position on JD. What do you think? It broke above VMA, and it's because I called this one out yesterday in our Sunday Stock Talk. And I told you guys that I'm not going to take a position until it breaks above VMA, indicating that bounce, and it broke above VMA today. And that's what made me decide to take a position on it. So if you could see, right above $39, that's when it broke above VMA, and that's when I decided to take a position. So what did I do? I was patient. I identified a margin for profit, but I did not take a position until it reacted or validated that support and started showing an upward trend. So first thing I did, identified a margin of profit. Second thing I did, I formulated a plan on where I'm buying, where I'm selling, and where I'm going to cut my losses. So I knew that I was wanting to buy at above VMA, so I had to be patient and wait for it to break above VMA. If it didn't break above VMA, then I would have not purchased it, but it did. So that's why I purchased it. Where do I plan to sell? Anywhere 42 and plus. The reason why is 42 was a previous resistance, so I want to follow with the stop loss at 42 and give it that cushion to potentially go up to 44 for that extra 5% potential for profit. I'm in at around 39.10. Therefore, I understand that the overall support right now is about $38. That's 3.45% potential for profit. My potential for loss. My potential for profit is about 12%. So I'm going to risk about 2%. So I'll give it below $39. I'll give it that 2% potential for loss, and that's how I'm going to follow with my stop loss. I actually don't want to give it all that cushion to $38 because it usually does a pretty good job validating that support and then just seeing an upward trend. If it continues to flatline and ride the support, then it's most likely going to try to break it. So just be aware about the potential for profit that you are experiencing. Be aware of what's going to be coming up, as well as kind of just have an understanding of the risk involved. And by managing your risk and making sure that you're investing in stocks that offer more potential for profit and less potential for loss, then as long as you stick to your plan and you manage that risk, then your success should be that much greater. So let me go ahead and break it down for you again. JD, 14.28% potential for profit, support 38, resistance 44, desired entry point 39.10. Well, that's when I entered, and then my desired sell point again 42 plus. So why does it have a bounce there? Technical support at $38. So let me go ahead and go down. The other one, DRIP. So this one's more for those that like trading low cap stocks. I'm sorry. This is not one of the low cap stocks. The next one is. Again, I don't think that this is very difficult for you guys to see. Do you guys see the low points, the high points, support, resistance? So again, it's starting to show signs of an upward trend. I feel like we're catching this pretty early. I still would like to see more of a sign of an upward trend. So that's why I have my desired entry point, if I'm not mistaken. Actually, I don't. I do. A desired entry point that's different than the support is $18. The reason I have it at $18 is I want to make sure that it starts showing signs of an upward trend, and it needs to break that resistance. It's been struggling to really hold above this $18 price point. It did break above it once, didn't hold very well. And I'm going to cut losses on this one very quickly if it breaks below $18, if I decide to get in when it breaks above 18. So I just want to make sure that it starts showing signs of an upward trend. It does offer a lot of potential for profit if I can ride it out throughout the entire time. 31% potential for profit from 18 to 26 based on its previous trend. With that understanding, the potential for loss that I would incur is less than 1% on this specific stock, because once it breaks above 18, if it goes below 18, I'm going to cut my losses there, just because I don't want to continue riding this on a downward trend, just because the potential for loss on this one is going to be much greater because it is a little bit of a lower price stock. With that understanding, that's just my plan, that's my breakdown, and that's why I see value in this one. So again, just identified a margin for profit, support, resistance, identified the low points, the high points, the margin of potential for profit, the potential for loss, waited for the validation of the support. I'm waiting for the upward trend. And once it does, then that's when I'm going to choose to take a position. So the last one is going to be GNCA. I've actually came across GNCA due to one of our members. He simply asked me to break it down for him. So I do want to congratulate him. This is a little bit of a lower cap stock. It's not something that I do very often. It's $1.43. I'm waiting for the technical breakout at 150. As you guys can see, at a huge drop, previous support at around $4. So I had that huge drop held above $1. Is building a ceiling at $1.50. With that understanding, with these stocks, sometimes we can have technical breakouts and it can have a really nice pop. So with this, I can put a limit buy once the market opens. If it ends up breaking above 150, then that could be a lot of potential that it could offer. From lows to highs, this thing offers about, wow, I did not break this one down the way. Actually, I think I planned a GNCA, if I'm not mistaken. Where is it at? I put 62% potential for profit, but from $1 to $4. Yeah, because I plan to sell anything above 2. Again, although it does offer the potential for this thing to, man, come on. Although this thing does offer the potential for it to go back up to $4 based on a previous support, I don't necessarily want to plan it out that way. I think selling at a $2 price point is much more realistic for me, from $1.50 to $2. And I definitely think that that is something that GNCA can experience within the next couple of weeks. But again, I want to make sure that I play it out the way that I expect it to, and I'm going to play it very conservatively. And this is my approach. I'm going to try to buy if it goes above 150. I'm going to cut my losses if it goes below 150, and I'm going to sell anything above $2. So I can follow with a stop loss there, and if it makes more margin, then great. I felt like with what the potential that I've identified from 150 to $2 is very conservative, just due to the potential that it offers altogether. If long term at 175 potential for profit. So with that understanding, I feel like my potential for profit is much greater than my potential for loss. This is a lower cap stock, so this is why I'm going to be a little bit more on the edge with it. But I definitely think that the risk / reward with this one is worth it. I just want to make sure that I play with it accordingly. I actually don't think that I would need to swing trade this stock, because I think with this being a technical breakout, the 1 to 150 can be done all within one day. If I want to swing trade it and try to ride it all the way up to $4, then that might have to be a little bit more of a swing trade. But I don't think that's just not my style of trading. So, and I'm not too sure if you guys saw our breakdown for our OKU. A lot of people were asking me, how did I know that our OKU was going to bounce at $24 exactly? If you guys watched our Sunday stock talk, I broke down that our OKU had a support that it was most likely going to bounce at $24, which was really good. Which was really good for a lot of our traders. And what it came down to was that it had a previous resistance at $24 and a previous resistance at $24, overall resistance at highs of 29. So what it came down to was, again, old resistance levels becoming new support levels. Today, as the market opened, it bounced at $24, then hit the overall resistance at $26, and that's exactly how we planned it out. So again, old supports become new resistance levels, and that's really just it. So I hope that one helped you guys out. I don't plan our OKU to actually be something that's very profitable. Realistically, long term, I think that our OKU is most likely going to be heading back down to its real price point of about anywhere from $16 to $17. We might have a technical balance at around 20, but I don't think that this one will hold very well. Again, also understand that a lot of people are going to be talking about ECYT. Just understand that there's, today played out very well, 157% potential for profit that it offered, or not potential, actual profit that it experienced today for market open. We did catch this one in our live stream when it was at around 180 to 190. And a lot of our traders, I do want to shout you guys out because you guys did extremely well with this stock. Do I think that this thing is going to continue to rise? No, realistically, these things don't last for a very long time. Therefore, for those that like shorting stocks, this might actually be something that you might want to keep your eyes on. The same thing with RF. I think RF long-term offers a little bit more potential for loss than it does potential for profit. If you guys could see where it usually peaks out at, it's usually around $15.50. And then once it breaks below $15, then that's when we can really expect that downward trend, about 10% potential for loss based on its overall trend of low points and high points. So I'm going to make sure that I share the PDF with you guys. So if you guys saw that breakdown and didn't capture this entire watch list or this entire breakdown, I'll be sure to share it with you guys. I'll post it under the announcement sections within the TechBot Solutions Discord group. I'll also post it in the Facebook group if you guys are a part of that. So you guys can break it down and tell me what you guys think about the top stocks that I see value in. Other than that, I just wanted you guys to have a better understanding of I just wanted you to have a better understanding on how I break down stocks, and I hope that the format and the style that I break down stocks are something that you guys see value in and that you guys can do as well. Okay, so we have Alejandro saying that share your scan with the Thinkorswim settings. I'll feel more than welcome to do it. So again, I'll share it on the Discord group and I'll share it in the TechBot Solutions Facebook group. So Ricky doesn't short. Fritz is asking. No, I do not short. It's not. I've actually had a lot of people ask me about that because I've been calling out a pretty good amount of stocks that I would have shorted if I do. It's just not my style. It's not something I do at the moment, but it's something that I can do a little bit later. So yeah, so a lot of people are asking. It's just not something I do. I feel like I'm pretty good at calling them out, but it's not my style. If you guys could see, I'm more of a technical trader. I like identifying those margin for profits. I'm a very conservative trader, and it's just my style, and it's what I like to do. So stick to what you are good at, and there's no reason to have to branch off to different things that you feel uncomfortable in. I don't want to not encourage you guys to be open-minded, but just realistically, I just think I do pretty well with what it is that I'm already trading at. So I hope you guys found this video helpful. If you guys did, please feel free to give it a thumbs up. I do want to apologize for my live stream this morning. I know that it wasn't exactly what a lot of you guys were expecting. I felt like my live stream, although it was very short, if you guys check out my video that I uploaded today, it was the most recent video before this. It's how I profit on pullbacks. I think it goes hand on hand with what I'm actually talking about today and how I like trading stocks that have huge pullbacks because of the potential for profit that they experience. But realistically, and this is, again, me kind of getting into, if you guys like my style of trading and like how I break down stocks, then I do think that the lesson library that I'm going to be releasing next Monday is something that you guys might be somewhat interested in. A lot of people are asking me a lot of questions on who I'm going to accept for the mentorship program, who I'm going to accept for the lesson library. I'm going to give you guys more details when they come about. Me and Justin have been working on the lesson library all day, and it's just a lot more work than what we thought about. The reason why is anyone can release structured lessons out there, right? Anyone can release a structured lesson. The thing that I'm trying to do a little bit different that Justin thinks that it's not very realistic for me to do, and I'm just saying it because it's true, is I want to make sure, if you guys have watched a couple of my previous videos, you guys can see the effect and the impact that I've had on my little sister with the growth that she was able to experience on her Robinhood account, being able to see 20% growth within 1 week. And we've continuously been able to see, exponential growth with swing trades and a couple day trades, and keeping it very simple. A lot of people have been, direct messaging me, not just mentorships when it comes to, day trading, but their overall lifestyle and starting their business or, pursuing their own ventures. With that understanding, I want to make sure that I can be there, but I want to provide that quality content. Therefore, realistically, I have 47,000 members as a part of TechBot Solutions. Do I think it's very realistic for me to launch a lesson library and then offer mentorship firsthand for 47,000 people? No, because the quality is not going to be there. So I'm just, if you guys can give me time and give me some ideas, feel free to direct message me within the Discord group. I want to keep it to anywhere from around 150 people to 300 people that I allow to the actual mentorship program, because I want to make sure that I create individual profiles for you and can follow up hand on hand, because I don't think it's going to be difficult for you guys to actually be profitable day traders, but it's about that consistency and how to continuously see growth. And I think that's the hardest thing people see or have to deal with. With that understanding, I feel like I can be that overall support that can guide you guys in the right direction and make sure that I can pick you guys up when you guys are experiencing bad days. That's my plan, and I hope that you guys see value in that. And that's why I've been dedicating so much time on the back end and making sure that the value is there, and that realistically I don't put too much on my table because of the amount of people that I'm going to have to mentor. Realistically, if I take on any more than 300 people, I'm going to have to be working 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, scheduling video calls with each and every one of you guys. And realistically, that amount of stress isn't just something that I'm allowed to put in my table because of all the different ventures that I have going on myself. So I hope you guys understand, and I hope you guys know that I'm trying my best into structuring this the best way possible. So feel free to message me if you guys are interested in the mentorship and lesson library. If you guys have any questions about my current videos or what I can do to make it better, feel free to reach out to me. I want to encourage you guys in everything that is that I pursue. You guys can continuously make me a better person, and the videos that I make, better quality content. But that's really just it. So I hope that's not true. So Parker Mills is saying that stop being greedy. I think because I'm not allowing everyone to be a part of the mentorship. It's not that I'm trying to be greedy. It's that realistically, I would not be able to successfully fulfill my role as a mentor with a mass amount of people. So I don't need everyone to understand. I just need the majority of the people to understand that. So again, I hope you guys understand that. So and then the last thing people are asking, where is it that you should message me? Oh, I'm sorry, Parker Mills. I'm sorry. Yeah, okay. So he's saying that no, it wasn't meant to me. Sorry about that. So I'm so sorry. It's just but yeah, so people are asking me where they should message me. You guys can feel free to message me. The best way to message me, it's within the TechBud Solutions Discord group chat. You guys can DM me there. The last thing that I want to talk to you guys about, now that we talked about the lesson library, is all the links are down in the description. If you guys want to sign up for the TechBud Solutions beta trial for the website, that's the first link in the description. Second link is the TechBuds apparel. So if you guys want to order your TechBuds t-shirt and represent and be a part of the team, feel free to do so. And then you guys can also download the Robinhood application and get your free app if you guys want to click on that link. And then again, the link to join our group, 47,000 members, are all in the description. There's a very last message that I want to talk to you guys about. And that is pretty much of what happened today. So, and I'm not going to, so I appreciate everything it is that you guys are saying. So the last thing that I want to remind you guys is because of everything that I have going on with the lesson library and everything else that I have to manage, people forget, and I get realistically, and Parker, my apologies that I called you out on that, and I thought it was directed to me. I've been called greedy so many times because they say that I don't devote enough time to the group and helping everyone out. I don't expect everyone to understand, but with everything else that I have going on, the different businesses and the different things just on the day-to-day that I have to manage myself, realistically, I'm already dedicating about 15 to 20 hours every single day. And this is 7 days a week because I choose to invest it. Now with the lesson library, I'm going to be putting even more on my table. With that understanding, today with what happened, I'm not too sure if you guys heard in Las Vegas. It was very unfortunate, and so-called 59 people have been killed, over 500 injured, based on the last report that I saw. I saw that very early in the morning, and I got the chills. The reason why, and this is actually before I went live. The reason why is because I saw a couple of my friends actually post that they were at that event that a bunch of people were getting shot at. Watching the real videos that I saw on YouTube and just watching everything else that was happening and people just getting shot and how people at an event that were trying to have a fun time, went through an experience so horrific. There's real graphic videos out there of people being pretty much put in where you're supposed to kind of pile up dirt, wheelbarrowed, because it just looked like a massacre. And it's something so upsetting that people at one point of their lives in that exact moment were having such an amazing time. And for some individual, for regardless of what they may be, just them being crazy or whatever, I'm not getting into that. But what it comes down to is understanding that, what if I went to that event? I don't go out very much. But what if, I went to that event with my girlfriends and she loves, music, and it came down to me or her, being taken away in a matter of seconds from a very, happy point of our lives to a very drastic, ending. What is it that you're doing in life that's making you happy? And that's, I have not slept in maybe I don't want to say I haven't slept in a while. But if you guys saw, I wasn't very active today in the TechBot Solutions Discord group. I asked you guys to give me some time, and the reason why was because of everything that I'm putting on my table and everything else that I'm doing right now. I felt like I was getting burnt out. I felt like, I continue to ask myself, what is it that I'm doing with my life, and am I enjoying every second? If I was taken at that exact moment, is my life, did I truly enjoy my life? And I want you guys to understand that the conclusion that I came up with is that, am I doing what it is that I love? And I truly am. I'm helping, and I feel having a positive impact in a mass number of people. And it's something that, I feel like if I don't do, it would be more of a regret than me, just not actually wanting to do it. It's something that I'm truly passionate about, and it's something that I love being a part of. I love working, and that's the individual that I am. And I know that not everyone is like that. So all I ask you guys is, just because of how easy it is to understand that how short life is, you guys need to ask yourself, what is it that you're doing, in your life right now and want to continue to do that it's going to make your life worthwhile. I can tell you guys firsthand that money is not going to bring you happiness, but what is it that on the side that you're doing that you're truly passionate about? And that's why I think it takes, the overall that's one of my videos when I tell you guys, do what it is that you guys love, let your passion be what drives you in your success. And let's make sure that we end the week on a green note, or the year on a green note. The reason that I say that is because I want you guys to invest not only in something that can make you, wealthy, but as well as, make you rich in life, right? And that's something that my dad really instilled in me at a very early age, that if you're doing something that you truly enjoy, working in a field that you truly enjoy, regardless if it's a stable job or regardless if it's investing in the stock market, if it's something that you truly enjoy, then it's not really working. And that's, I think, the position that I'm blessed with today. I get to surround myself with over 47,000 individuals that I truly see value in and that I truly want to be a part of their success. So all I ask you guys is to continue doing what it is that you guys love, let your passion be what drives you in your success, and truly understand all the risk involved, not only with the monetary reward, but the time and, the time and the sacrifice that you're putting into this. Just make sure that it's worth it. So thank you guys again for everything that you guys do. If you guys want to share, like this video because you guys see value in it, then, we'd really appreciate it. But most importantly, just continue doing what it is that you guys love. And we'd love to be a part of your success. So thank you guys for all the messages in the live chat. I'll bring over the conversation in the TechBot Solutions Discord group just to answer them, but I'm going to end the live chat here. So thank you guys again. Like always, guys, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take care, team.